She confessed her love to another man, on camera as if it were a TV drama. The problem was, it wasn't a show. It was real. I met Madison Reyes the way New Yorkers are supposed to meet their great romances, on a subway platform in July when the air is too thick to breathe and every overhead speaker is apologizing for delays. She was gripping a dog-eared copy of A Farewell to Arms, humming a melody she'd later claim was just something stuck in her head, but was actually the theme song from the streaming drama Split Horizons, the very show where 3 months later she'd land a breakout role as the morally gray lead. I was a senior film production major at NYU, perpetually broke, perpetually filming something on 16mm. Our first date became a montage of neon diner signs, rooftop screenings in Brooklyn, and her testing lines on me at 3 a.m. while we shared a single halal cart platter. When Split Horizons premiered, Reddit lit up about her effortless micro-expressions. Variety called her the fresh face of post-pandemic television, and I floated through it all like a VIP passenger on the Madison Reyes Express. Agents and late-night interviews, after-parties with craft mocktails. Somehow none of it felt performative. When she reached for my hand beneath the glare of paparazzi strobes, she'd wink and whisper, "This is our movie." I believed her because I wanted to. Then one Tuesday, a grip from the show named Lena texted me a single WeTransfer link titled Scene Not Used.mp4. She added no message, just a thumbs-up emoji as though she were handing over a spare umbrella. I clicked. Madison was in the apartment set I'd visited on Wrap Day, wearing the hero wardrobe sweater I'd helped pick. Across from her sat Jordan Parker, her on-screen husband, running a thumb along her jaw the way you only do when directors yell cut. The camera drifted, handheld, not on sticks, and Madison said, "I don't want to keep pretending on set, because what I feel when you say those lines is real." No slate clack, no boom dip. Silence, except for my own pulse hammering behind my ears. The next night, she slipped into my loft carrying Thai food and stories about reshoots. I asked about the video. She froze. Pad Thai container steaming between us. Method rehearsal, she insisted. Jordan's coach asked us to improvise a confession. It's not canon, babe. She even tossed in film school jargon, emotional substitution, artifice collapsing into authentic beats, as if vocabulary could bleach the stain. I wanted to buy it, but the file's timestamp said 2 weeks earlier, long after principal photography. My head replayed every red carpet photo where Jordan's hand hovered at her waist like a magnet just shy of metal. Instead of screaming, I pressed my phone flat on the table and asked, "Are you in love with him?" Madison's bottom lip quivered in a way focus pullers dream of. "Tyler, I'm in love with us." Her eye contact was flawless. Performance of the year. Only I couldn't locate the director. 2 days later, I visited the Split Horizons soundstage under the pretext of grabbing B-roll for my thesis. The smell of sawdust and stale coffee felt comforting until I caught Madison and Jordan tucked behind a false kitchen wall, swapping half-finished sentences that only lovers recognize. The shorthand you develop when you've already downloaded each other's operating systems. She spotted me, stepped forward, and tucked her hair behind her ear, a habit she'd marked as Madison authentic in interviews. I remember thinking how cruel it was that honesty and duplicity could share the same gesture. She mouthed please, but I kept walking until the exit sign swallowed me whole. That night, our shared Google photo album pinged with a new upload, a slow-motion clip of Madison smashing a prop plate and laughing while Jordan wrapped his arms around her waist from behind. No crew laughter, no set chatter. Just them. I deleted the album before the thumbnail finished populating. Weeks drifted, sticky and unpunctuated. My friends tried to drag me out for bar trivia. I stayed home cataloging the absurd places love can hide. A trailer, a memory card, a whispered improvisation mislabeled as deleted scene. When insomnia hit hardest, I opened Premiere Pro and stitched together the offcuts of my life with Madison. Hotel room karaoke, her feeding pigeons in Washington Square, me adjusting her lav mic on a rooftop. Each clip ended on a single frame of black. Into those voids, I inserted the footage of her confession to Jordan, color-graded colder than the rest. I had no plan for release. I just needed the timeline to acknowledge what my heart still debated. At 4:17 a.m. on the first cool night of October, Jordan DM'd me. "We should talk man to man. Coffee?" I answered with the address of a Brooklyn cafe known for indie film meetups, wondering if confrontation in public space counted as bravery or cowardice. I arrived early, jittery from no sleep, and watched Jordan stride in wearing the guilty man's uniform. Baseball cap low, shades indoors. He removed both, looked me dead on, and said, "She told me she ended it with you." The words sliced cleaner than his screen persona ever could. Instead of cracking, I felt a strange director-like detachment. I asked if he'd star in a short film I was shooting, a meta-narrative about two men who unknowingly fall for the same woman and find redemption through collaboration. Jordan blinked, confused, but agreed almost immediately, maybe out of shame, maybe out of the same hunger every actor has for layered roles. I told him there was no script, only truth. We shook hands. I felt the tremor in his palm. That tremor was my green light. We shot playback over 5 nights in abandoned subway stations and cheap motel rooms, using a Canon C70 and a single LED panel gaff-taped to pizza boxes. No makeup, no continuity team. Just raw dialogue about expectation, ego, and how Madison loved the way both of us framed her in our lenses. Jordan confessed on camera that their affair started during a lighting reset lull. He found her alone on set, tearing up after a fight we'd had about her missing my mother's birthday. He didn't defend it. He simply traced the fuse back to its unguarded spark. I never raised my voice. I just asked follow-up questions like a documentarian. On the final night, we filmed a scene where we watched the original scene not used.mp4 projected onto a brick wall under the Williamsburg Bridge. The projector hummed, traffic roared overhead, and we let the city's sodium glow wash over our faces as Madison's confession looped. When the file ended, Jordan turned to camera and said, "Cut," while I whispered, "No, keep rolling." Post-production was quick, surgical. I overlaid subway brake screeches under Madison saying "real," added glitch frames whenever either of us hesitated, and titled the piece "Reverse" in plain Helvetica, white on black. I dropped it on Ars True off my chest with a single line. Sometimes the B camera captures the real plot. By dawn, the post was gilded, mirrored across Twitter, Insta Reels, even TikTok edits with text-to-speech narrators pacing every beat. Viewers argued, was it art or revenge porn? Did consent apply when the betrayed tells the story? YouTube reaction channels posted faces frozen in shock thumbnails, mouths agape, arrows pointing at Madison. I expected her to call, maybe to threaten, maybe to apologize. Instead, she posted a Notes app screenshot saying she'd learned valuable boundaries about blending reality and craft. PR speak so immaculate it squeaked. A week later, playback hit 8 million views. Film professor acquaintances, I barely remembered, forwarded festival submission links. Jordan landed an audition for an A24 project about guilt in digital spaces. I booked DP gigs from people who said my vulnerability with the camera was electric. The irony wasn't lost on me. The most truthful frame of my life was built on lies I didn't tell. Madison disappeared from my feeds, her show renewed without her character. Killed off screen in a time jump that viewers called narratively bold. I stopped checking. One quiet Sunday, I passed the soundstage where we'd first slow danced between craft service tables. A new production banner hung out front. Untitled rom-com, shooting summer. For the first time in months, the word romance didn't feel like broken glass. I set my camera bag down, snapped a still of the empty lot, and thought how endings are just cuts we agree to honor. Somewhere, Madison might be rehearsing lines, Jordan might be chasing a different set of stage lights, but they were now on someone else's timeline. Mine kept rolling, clean slate, exposure balanced. And if I ever doubt that reality outperforms fiction, I replay the opening second of scene not used.mp4, the moment before she speaks, where her eyes flick off screen to make sure no one's watching. That sliver of nervous honesty keeps me honest too, one frame at a time.